Hello everyone, I'm Marina and it's Sakramel School. In this video there will be a review of streaky pastel gel polishes. We will find the thickest one, write down the results, and I will also share with you a secret technique for a streak-free application. Let's get into it. On my Instagram account, I did a poll where I was asking you about the best and the thickest pastel gel polishes. Many nail techs gave feedback, so here are 14 most popular gel polishes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, there are 14, so we will review each of them. I have put them down onto the table, and you can do the same to test out your materials as well. There are titles, milliliters. I also sorted them from the cheapest to the most expensive ones. And we will test out their thickness, density, brushes, whether they are easy to use, as well as polymerization and additional commentary. Before we proceed with the test, I will show you how to apply gel polish correctly to avoid bald spots. We will take white as an example. We will need some clear tips for the test, since they will perfectly reveal the density of color. Make sure to lean on with your pinky while holding the finger. This way, you will achieve an even streak-free application. Push the gel towards the cuticle with the first move and pull it down, moving parallel to the cuticle. If we press the brush too hard, it will leave bald spots on the nail surface. But don't worry, we will even them out a bit later. Place the brush diagonally by the right sinus, and with such a rounding move, paint this area and the sidewall. I turn the client's finger to paint it well. And the key aspect here is color alignment. Make long moves from the cuticle to the very free edge. Work with your fingers only. We don't move our entire hand like this, otherwise there will be lines on the nail surface right away. We cannot apply light shades in a thick layer, since they will wrinkle in the lamp. And we will have to remove the coating and redo it, so make sure to keep the first layer thin. What are the most common mistakes here? Wrong brush position. When you don't lay it down, but place it at the 45-degree angle instead. We can already see how the material gets pulled off and bald spots appear. The next mistake is not making long moves from the cuticle, but move chaotically instead. The techs often align the surface like this, then make a couple of strokes from the center of the nail, and then seal the nail with such sweeping moves. Now we can see that the surface is uneven, so we can add some more gel polish, lay the brush down like this, make long moves, and watch how the surface gets even, and the bald spots go away. If we add a second thicker layer of gel polish, they will disappear completely. Thanks to this particular exercise, you will nail a streak-free gel polish application. Grab a tip, cover it up, check out the results, and only then work on the nails. Since often gel polishes leave lines not because they are bad, but because we don't apply them the right way. The technique is wrong. But I'm sure that thanks to this exercise, you will practice this technique and nail it eventually. And now, let's proceed with the review part. The first gel polish on our list is Leica by Rooney. 9 milliliters cost around $1 and it is super inexpensive, so it's hard to believe that this gel polish can be thick. All of the shades are light pink, some of them are darker, some are lighter, with beige and purple undertones, but I have tried to find similar shades of gel polishes. Normally, we need to shake the bottle a little bit before application to lift up the pigment from the bottom of it. I grab a tip and apply the color. This shade is more lavender. I use the technique that I have demonstrated previously. Apply a thin layer, add some more, and lay the brush down. This gel polish aligns perfectly. It is pretty thick. There are tiny bald spots, but I think that the second layer will fix them. I send it to cure. Its polymerization time is 1 minute. I want to apply the second layer. Let's compare them by the first ones, so as not to make this video too long, and I'm sure that in 2 layers they will all look perfect, and the review won't be that informative. Let's write down the results. Consistency: 1 for liquid, 2 for medium, and 3 for thick. I will rate this one 2. Density: on a 1 to 3 scale, this one is 2. The brush is soft and easy to use. As for the commentary, well, it's cool. You don't have high hopes for a $1 gel polish, but it turns out plausible and nice to work with. The next one is P&B 245. This one costs $2, but here we've got only 4 milliliters, such a tiny bottle. It seems cheap, but considering its volume, I would not be so sure. Such a pastel pink color? Let's see. This one is more liquid, and it leaves more bald spots on the nail surface as a result. Such pink shades are always the trickiest. I apply a medium layer and send it to cure. By the way, this gel polish aligns perfectly. Its polymerization time is 1 minute as well. It is normally indicated on the bottle, but if there is no information, check the manufacturer's website. It took me some time to learn the polymerization time for each of these gel polishes, since it is not indicated on some of the bottles. I will rate this one 1 for consistency, it's liquid. Density: it is not that good either. It is somewhere between 1 and 2, so I will rate it 1.5. The brush is nice and soft. And I also want to add that this gel polish aligned nicely. This next gel polish is Cerebro in Peony shade, and 11 milliliters of it cost a bit more than $2. So it is not much more expensive than the previous one, but the volume is bigger here. Though there is something wrong with the brush. It is super weird, maybe because it stood still. And the color here is more dusty rose, and such colors are usually thicker. It gives such a rich color in one layer, super dense. This gel polish is thick. It takes some time to align. It leaves lines, but let's wait for a few seconds. Well, not that much changes. I send the nail to cure, and here the polymerization time is 30 seconds. Let's write down the results. I will rate it 3 for consistency, 3 for density. It is perfect. The brush, well, it was defected, so let's write it down. I presume that's just a manufacturing defect. As for the commentary, it is well pigmented, but aligns slowly. I also want to check if it has got cured well. So I grab an orange stick. Well, it has cured perfectly. There is nothing wrong with it, so 30 seconds were enough to cure such a thick and dense gel polish. This next gel polish is by Monami 6-4, 8 milliliters, and it costs around $2 to $5. And its polymerization time is 1 minute. This color is a bit dusty, and it's super liquid. It flows off the brush, so I think that beginners will find it difficult to work with. But due to its consistency, it aligns perfectly, and the surface looks even right away. I lay the brush down, make long moves. It's pretty dense. Again, it depends on the shade. Since it's dusty, it is thicker. I sand it to cure. Let's write down the results. I will rate it 1 for consistency, 3 for density. The brush was nice too, and it is a bit longer here. That comes in handy when we need to outline the perimeter. I will put a question mark in the comments though, not for beginners. It is not too watery, but still some beginners may struggle with application. The next one is Patrice Nail 320, a pretty pink shade. Medium in consistency. I cover up the tip, and the surface aligns perfectly. Medium density. There is a couple of bold spots. Its polymerization time is 30 seconds. I will give it 2 for consistency, 2 for density. The brush is nice and soft. Sometimes when the brush is too hard, it may also leave lines. It aligns nicely. The next one is Cosmolac. This one costs about $3 for 7.5 millimeters. The polymerization time is 30 seconds. It's super light. The color peels a bit. I should have mixed it well first. It is super liquid too. Again, it aligns quickly. There are tiny bold spots barely there, and the brush is hard. So 1 for consistency, 2 for density. The brush is hard, aligns quickly. The next one is InGarden 112. That is the only new gel polish here, and the neck of the bottle was dirty. Well, that is not good. Probably someone opened it at the store or it wasn't closed tight. The shade is warm pink. The brush is super long. It is fan-like. The edge is uneven. I don't think that it will be easy to paint the cuticle zone with it, unless you like such brushes. This material is liquid. It aligns super fast. All of the bubbles pop right away. There are tiny bold spots. Back to our table. It is pretty liquid, somewhere between 1 and 2. 2 for density. The brush is long. And it's also oval. Not many nail technicians prefer such fan-like brushes. Most of them prefer using a classic brush with an even edge. This material aligns nicely. Its polymerization time is 30 to 60 seconds. I guess the polymerization time depends on the lamp power as well. So let's check out if it has got cured well. Yes, it has, but there are a few bold spots on the surface. The next one is another gel polish by Monami, but this one is a bit cheaper. 12mm cost around $3. This one is super liquid. It flows off the brush. Here, this gel polish is translucent. It may be one of its features though, since such gel polishes align quickly and remind me of base coats. It's a bit tricky though. Let's cure it and write down the results. 1 for consistency, 2 for density. The brush is hard and elastic. It aligns nicely. Its polymerization time is 30 to 60 seconds. 30 seconds have passed. Let's see. It has cured perfectly. The next one is Gratule 108. The shade is similar. The brush is weird and short. It's pretty hard. This gel polish is liquid. It flows onto the sides and it is not that dense. This gel polish costs around $4 for 9mm, so there is not too much material. It is very streaky. Its polymerization time is 60 to 90 seconds. It takes quite a while to get cured, and if we cure each nail for 1 to 1.5 minutes, the process will take way more time this way. Let's put it down. 1 for consistency, 1 for density. The brush is hard and short, and there's not much that I can add. The only thing is that $4 for 9ml may be not that cheap of an option. This gel polish by Vogue is called Fifth Avenue. It has no number. Well, this shade is more brownish. I can hardly call it pink. Dirty, peachy pink maybe. It is medium in consistency. It aligns nicely. The brush is soft. It evens out the material perfectly. There are no bald spots left. Super smooth. I sent it to cure. Maybe it was the color that provided such a smooth application. Let's put it down. 2 for consistency. As for its density, it was great. I will rate it 3. The brush is soft. The color is dense. Next comes lovely 082. This one costs $3.50 for 7ml, so the volume is even less than Gratule's one. This gel polish is vibrant pastel pink. It is translucent, and the consistency is super watery. It leaves bold spots, and the brush is pretty hard, so it doesn't align the surface well. Its polymerization time is 60 seconds. I will give it 1 for consistency, 1 for density. The brush is hard. Let's mark it as expensive in the comments, since there is only 7ml. Next is Louis Philippe Pantone number 2. Oh, it's such a pretty pastel pink shade, loved by the clients. The brush is long and soft. It opens up well. It's medium in consistency. It needs to be aligned though, and there are still some bald spots left on the surface. Let us cure it. By the way, it's easier to apply colors on the tips and way harder on the nails, so it will be hard to align. I will rate it 2 for consistency, 2 for density. The brush is long and soft. As for the commentary, it aligns slowly. The next shade is Diva 069, and here we've got 15 milliliters, and it costs $4. It's pretty liquid. It is not too dense. It reminds me of those translucent colors for the French manicure. Maybe that's the point. Such a pretty porcelain effect. It aligns perfectly. I just pull it down like this to smooth out the bald spot. There are only tiny ones left due to the color, I guess. But it aligns very smoothly. The brush is soft and long, with an even edge. I will rate this one 1 for consistency, 2 for density. The brush is long and soft, and it aligns quickly. And the last gel polish is Uno 440. It also peels a bit, so I shake it up like this first. It is more of a peachy shade. I have ordered this gel polishes online, so I could not check the colors. So I had to rely on the colors presented on the website. It aligns nicely. There are still a few bald spots. The brush is hard, it is elastic, and it pulls the material down. It does not align the surface that well, and a couple of bald spots are left. I sent it to cure, and its polymerization time is 30 seconds. I will rate it 2 for consistency. I'll give it 1 for density. The brush is hard. As for the comments, there is not that much to add. It is the most expensive gel polish, about $5 for 12 milliliters. Let's mark it as expensive. Well, it was not our point today to choose the cheapest gel polish, but for some nail techs, it is the key factor when it comes to colors, especially for beginners. According to our table, the densest colors are Cerebro 209, Monami 624, Fifth Avenue by Vogue as well. And that's it. These 3 gel polishes were the densest, but in my opinion, they turned out thicker and denser due to that additional pigment in their content. They are a bit darker and dusty. Of course, it's hard to judge the entire brand collection by just one of their gel polish, since there are always streaky, normal, thick colors. A lot depends on the undertone and on the amount of pigment inside. Today, we have reviewed pastel gel polish shades that were the leaders of my Instagram poll. If you want me to review other gel polishes, send me the brands and colors in the comments, and we will post another video. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Check out my other reviews. Success in your work. Good luck. Bye bye.